Welcome back to Sex Drive Radio, brought to you by our friends at Adam and Eve, America's most trusted source for adult products. I'm Dr. Ava Cadell, and my lovely co-host Jackie Zeman is on the line. Are you there, Jackie?
I'm here, and I have to tell you, Ava, I'm very, very happy to be here with you.
Oh, you're so sweet. And I know that everybody out there listening to you knows you as the super award-winning soap star of ABC's General Hospital, where you played the very colorful Nurse Bobby for, 3 decades? Is that right?
Decades, yes.
Yes, but I know you as so much more. And I think our listeners are going to be so excited to find out that you are a romantic, a mom, an entrepreneur, and a freshly certified love coach. I love the word fresh.
Yes, well, yeah, and thanks to you, Dr. Ava. I have to tell everybody, those of you who are listening, and I'm not just saying this because Dr. Ava also happens to be a very close girlfriend of mine, but she is absolutely awesome, as I'm sure you know if you're listening. But she has the Loveology University, which you can go in and take the most amazing courses that I am just so, I guess you can hear it in my voice how excited I am, because there's all kinds of information in there about everything. Sex, love, romance, intimacy, technical things. And I feel like at this point in my life, how did I go on all these years and not get to know this?
It's never too late. And tonight, the hot topic is better sex. Mm-hmm. So if you want better sex, give Jackie and I a call. You know, if you have questions, we have answers. And it can be about love, relationships, intimacy, or sex. Just call us on our toll-free number, which is 1-877-
711-5611.
Yes, or if you're shy, you can actually email us at questions@wetalksex.com, because we want to empower you in and out of the bedroom. So, Jackie, what is your definition of better sex?
You know, for me, it's a heartfelt connection that lasts long after the orgasm is over.
Oh, that's so sweet. Now, listeners, you have to know that Jackie's a little bit more conservative than I am. And we love that about her. She's actually quite a goody-goody, especially when it comes to sex. But she gives great advice, especially about love and relationships and intimacy. I'm the naughty one. But I value what you say because it's so true. But I guess I'm more animalistic. I don't know.
Oh, Dr. Ava, you know what? It's more animalistic, but also you have an amazing education. So you have a tendency, not only in your, in your business and your openness, but also in you push the envelope.
I do. I love being edgy.
We call that naughty because it's fun to call it naughty, but it's also very interesting and very exciting.
Well, I love my job. I get to talk about sex every single day, and I have to tell you, I would do this if I won the lottery. There's nothing else I would rather do. So I have some tips on better sex, but the first one is sort of a basic one. It's about looking good and taking care of yourself. You know, in other words, don't let yourself go once you've scored the love of your life or even the lust of your life, because you got to do what it takes to look good and smell good and turn your lover on just like you did when you first met. What do you think about that, Jackie?
I think that's absolutely true. I was reading in one of the tabloid magazines the other day, and it was this, story about Jessica Simpson. Not to single her out, because I think this has happened to so many of us. Broke up with her boyfriend recently, and one of the quotes from one of her friends was, well, she always becomes more conscious about her body after the relationship, breaks up. But I think everybody feels that way, because all of a sudden you are faced with having to go out there and be on the dating market again, and having to, get into a relationship where somebody's going to see you without your clothes on, and it's very scary to a lot of people.
It is, but a lot of people think that once they get their guy or their girl, they don't even have to groom themselves properly. I mean, come on. Those pheromones are still, that's what our chemical attraction is all about. And if you just sit around all sweaty and yucky, you're just not going to turn your lover on, and they're going to stray.
That's true. Do you know, Dr. Ava, I have a girlfriend who once told me that She was always self-conscious because her backside was, larger than her top half. She had a very, pear-shaped body. She told me that she's never backed out of a room when a lover was in bed. She would always face him and talk to him, and so that as she was leaving the room, she didn't want him looking at her butt, last thing he saw before she went into the bathroom.
Oh, and some men love big butts. I mean, they're so feminine and sensual. So she was inhibited about her butt, and I bet you anything that prevented her from having mind-blowing, earth-shattering, incredible sex.
Probably would, but there's all kinds of things you can do with the like Adam and Eve has all that, the sexy lingerie. There's all kinds of things you can do. For people that are self-conscious about a certain part of their body, or it's something that they feel, yes, you can work on it and get the best you can, but you can also find ways to enhance it so that it becomes really fun for your partner.
You're right, and I'm so glad you brought up Adam and Eve, because we have a special offer for our listeners of Sex Drive Radio. If you go to adamandeve.com, you'll get 50% off just about any item if you use Sex Drive as your offer code. And that's not all.
A great deal. Yeah, that is a great deal.
That's not all, Jackie. They have, do you know what they have? They have thousands of products, including toys, lingerie, adult movies. But with this special offer, you get 3 free adult DVDs, plus a free gift, which is so naughty that we can't even mention it on this show, Jackie. And on top of that, they're even going to throw in some free shipping on the entire order. Just please make sure you use the offer code SEXDRIVE at adamandeve.com. So I'm so glad you brought that up, because people need a place to go to shop.
And it's good for men and for women. That's one thing that I like about their website so much. It's good for men and for women. Anybody that goes in there can find something that's really interesting and fun.
Yeah, whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship.
Actually, if you're in a relationship, it's probably the coolest thing, because you're going to surprise the person you're with. I think we all have a tendency to get in a rut, and all of a sudden you go on there and really surprise your partner with something that just makes everything like a little out of the box. And I think that's so wonderful to do that.
Oh, I do too. And some people will say to me, "Oh, I don't need sex toys. My relationship is fine." And I just say, well, you know what? I don't need dessert. But when I have it, isn't it fantastic?
Well, you know what it is about sex toys? And I've learned a lot of this from you, Dr. Ava. A lot of us, we're intimidated by them because we don't know what they are. We're not used to them, or we haven't used them. And I think, we all have a tendency to get really comfortable with what we do over and over, or what we feel we do really well. And there's something that's kind of exciting about just stepping out there and saying, okay, I'm going to jump. It's kind of like falling in love. Sometimes you just got to jump, and trust that it'll all be fine. And I think it works the same way when you're exploring new boundaries within a sexual relationship.
That's right. And we want to talk to you about your relationship, because we want you to have better sex. So give us a call right here on our toll-free number at 1-877-711-5611, or email us at questions@wetalksex.com. Jackie, tell the listeners how you can help them with your love coaching skills.
Tell them how I can help them?
Yes, you can answer their questions on love and romance, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You're single, you're in dating, you've got experience?
I have to tell you, in the last couple of years, I have a ton of experience.
That's right.
I think that when it comes to better sex, what I'm learning is a lot of it has to do with communication. It has to do with, 1, knowing how to meet your own needs. 2, learning how to communicate with your partner and finding out what their needs are so that you can meet their needs within the relationship.
Right, and when you share your feelings and you listen to your partner speak, you create intimacy, and that leads to better sex.
Absolutely, and it's not always about the technical thing. Sometimes it's just about that bond of being together, or the affection, or the cuddling, or the knowing that, after the sex is over, your partner is still going to want to spend some time with you. At least for me, that's a large part of it.
Oh, I agree. And I think giving your lover compliments during lovemaking is guaranteed to turn up the heat. So give us a call. Talk to Jackie and talk to me. Tell us your stories, ask us your questions, and we will give you answers. We'll be right back with more Sex Drive Radio. Yes, I was giving you an intro. My lovely co-host is Jackie.
Oh, and I'm Jackie Siemens. You couldn't hear me, but
I couldn't hear you. Something really weird is happening with my earphones tonight. It's very crazy. So you may just have to take over.
While we get that resolved, I want to tell everybody to give us a call. We're very excited about launching Sex Drive tonight for the first time in our 4 nights a week new format. So give us a call if you have something to say, a story, a tidbit, or just something you want to add to the conversation regarding better sex. We're at 877-711-5611. Or if you're shy, or if for some reason we don't have time to take your call, you can email us at wetalksex.com.
That's right, and we do have some callers on the line, so Shane, go ahead and surprise us. Put somebody through so that we can chat with them. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, who are we talking to?
This is Bryce K., Dr. Bryce K. from Cherie, North Carolina.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Delighted to come on board.
So, Dr.
Thank
K.
you, Doctor. What's on your mind tonight?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to ask a little bit of a provocative question, and that is, what can we do for all of these poor people who are prostitutes within their own marriage?
I beg your pardon? Could you rephrase that?
You're talking about when someone marries someone for the wrong reason, like for money or for security or for a lifestyle, rather than for sexual attraction?
Not necessarily.
Well, can you explain?
I
love prostitutes. Dr. K, I love prostitutes. I think there is a place for them. There is a wonderful service that they provide, and so I'm very pro-prostitution. So I just wanted to let you know that. But go ahead and please explain.
TV, a former prostitute on TV for 30 years and met a lot of women who were in that line of business.
What I'm talking about are not women who are going out of the marriage and being prostitutes. I'm talking about women who are prostitutes within their marriage. They may not have married to be a prostitute, but their sexual repertoire has turned into prostitution. And there are many, many people out there who are
I'm confused. Are they married and they're going out sleeping with men for money?
No.
Or are they married and they're having sex with their husbands?
Dr. Ava, let's build up to this. How would you define prostitution?
I think prostitution is when you give something and you exchange energy, money for sex. That's how I define it.
Okay. How about goats and chickens? And because long before we had the coin, people would trade goats
and chickens? That's very interesting.
But wouldn't that be prostitution?
But what is that? I think that your definition of prostitution, I think you have a very negative, definition, and I'm not quite sure that I understand where this is even going. But it's very interesting. What do you think, Jackie?
I'm confused as to what you mean by prostitution. Like, can you give an example of what you mean when somebody is in a prostitution within their marriage? A specific, with regard to behavior.
I think he's gone. I don't think he liked the fact that we didn't agree with him. And I didn't like the way he said these poor women who get married and they're prostitutes. I'm sorry, but that's very judgmental. And there are men who actually think or believe that all women are prostitutes. And that really saddens me.
That's very sad.
Because let me tell you, prostitution has been around since the beginning of time. And way back when, they were known as goddesses. And it had a positive, energy.
I personally think that prostitution should be legal.
Oh, so do I. Of course it should be legal.
Yes, I've never understood why, the government gets involved in that.
I think if the government charged, if they made it legal and people paid taxes on it, we would be doing great. There'd be no recession. that's how we get rid of the recession. We have to, we have to run for politics. We have to get into politics, Jackie. That's all.
Well, we kind of are by doing this show. I mean, this is kind of because there's so many people out there listening. If you are listening, give us a call. We're taking your calls at 1-877-711-5611, and we're talking about better sex. If you have something you want to add or just want to call and, tell us what you think about it, or you can email us at wetalksex.com.
And one of the things I think leads to better sex is definitely touch. I get a lot of complaints, mainly from my female clients, that their men only touch them when they want to have sex. So, guys, I'm going to tell you a little trick that's going to make sex better, and that is to touch your woman in non-sexual areas like her shoulders. Give her a tender shoulder rub, or encourage her to rest her head in your lap without pushing it down south. What do you think, Jackie?
I agree, and my advice to the women out there is tell him what it is about his body that you find attractive. I think a lot of women love the fact that you hear women say all the time, oh, my man's a breast man, or he's a leg man, or he's a butt guy. You know what I mean? Because most men do have one part of the female body that they, get really turned on by. But a lot of times, women don't tell their men what it is about their body. And I think everyone likes to feel that there's something about their body that's special to their lover. And if you do that for your lover and let them know what it is, I think it makes them feel a little more confidence, and it makes them feel more desirable.
Oh, yes. Tell your man he's got great abs. Tell your woman she's got perfect breasts. Absolutely. You want to take another call, Jackie?
Absolutely. Who have we got?
We have Casey on line 2. Hi, Casey.
Hello, Dr. Ava and Jackie.
Hi.
Hi, sweetie. What's your question?
Well, my boyfriend and I have been together for about a year now, and we still have good sex, but it just kind of feels like that spark is starting to die down. I know that it happens when you really get deeper into a relationship, but I was just wondering, how do we keep that spark, that chemistry that got us together?
Well, I'll give you my suggestion, then Jackie will give you hers. My suggestion is to create what I call a passion wheel. So you draw a circle and you divide it up into like 8 or 12 parts, and then each of you writes down their favorite sexual turn-ons. Like oral sex, intercourse, anal sex, mutual masturbation, whatever it is. And then each of you takes turn choosing one activity from the passion wheel every day.
Huh.
What do you think, Jackie?
Oh, I think that's a wonderful idea. I like that idea.
But what do you think? What do you do, Jackie, when you've been in a relationship and the spark is, dying out a little bit?
Well, what has happened for me in the past is that does happen to all of us. I call it the bunny rabbit phase. Once we get out of the bunny rabbit phase, where we're going, on and on and on, and never coming up for air, you do get to that point. My suggestion would be, probably for you, since you said it's about a year, is to pick a different place to make love. Once you get comfortable with someone, you have a tendency, you go to bed at night, or you before you go to sleep, you're in the bed, or whether you're a morning person, or pick a different place, because I think someplace in your home where you live that's just more interesting, and I think that inspires imagination. And I think then when you look at the kitchen or the bathroom or whatever the spot is that you're picking, you'll walk by it the next day and you'll fantasize, and your lover will fantasize and have the memory of what happened there. And I think that sets off a spark.
Okay, so Casey.
They both sound good. Thank you.
Yeah, go create a passion wheel and have sex in a new and exciting place and in a new position.
And Casey, call us back, please. Call us back, tomorrow or Wednesday after you try this, and let us know how it goes.
I will. I'll do that.
Thank you for your call. You are listening to Sex Drive Radio, where we know that sex is not just between the legs, it's also between the ears. Yes. Give us a call. I'm Dr. Ava, and my lovely co-host is Jackie Zeman. 1-877-711-5611. We're here. We're ready. willing and able to answer all your questions on love, relationships, intimacy, romance, and sex. Can you think of anything else, Jackie?
Well, I think you put that very well in a nutshell, Dr. Ava.
Okay, don't go away, and we'll be right back with more Sex Drive Radio.
It's time now for Sex Drive with Dr. Ava Cadell, where we talk sex. Here's Dr. Ava.
Welcome back to Sex Drive Radio. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Miss Jackie Zeman. And we have a very special offer for Sex Drive Radio listeners. If you go to adamandeve.com, you're going to get 50% off one item when you type in Sex Drive. Sex Drive is your special offer code. So don't forget to write that in upon checkout. And you are going to save 50% off and get 3 free DVDs and a free extra gift and free shipping. And this is for a limited time. So if you want to surprise your lover with something that's going to spice up your love life, go to adamandeve.com and use Sex Drive.
For people who don't know about Adam and Eve, it's really wonderful. Just go into the website. It's really fun. You can go in there. They have all kinds of things. Toys, things to do, lingerie, fabulous lingerie, which I am really into, so I love that part of the website. But I just want to say, for men and for women, for anybody, it's a great place to get something for your lover or to get something for yourself, or even as a gift. It's a fun thing to go in there and get something as a gift to give to somebody. It's just, I think it's a great idea. So go on in there if you haven't been in there, adamandeve.com.
That's right. And our call lines are open, and we are going to take some calls right now at 1-877-711-5611. Let's talk to, I'm trying to see the names. Shane, just put somebody through to us and surprise us. I love surprises.
I love surprises, too.
Hi, this is Dr. Ava. And
Hello
Jackie.
there, and this is Jackie Zeman. Who are we talking with?
Am I through?
You're through. Welcome to Sex Drive.
Hi, it's Elliot Katz calling.
Hi,
I called because I wrote a book called Being the Strong Man a Woman Wants, and it's a book that addresses an issue that is very common in that I found that a lot of women are very frustrated with men today, and the underlying issue is that they say the men today don't act like they expect men to act. Men today have received all these messages about being sensitive, developing their feminine side, and they think that they're being nice, non-controlling, sensitive guys by really avoiding making decisions, showing leadership, and taking responsibility. And I was wondering, have you had similar situations where that's a big problem in a relationship?
Well, I think it just takes good communication. I find it rather exciting that women are becoming more like men, where they're initiating sex, and that men are becoming more sensitive and they're sharing their feelings. So I think it's fantastic. What do you think, Jackie?
I agree, because in today's society, there is no set role model like the 1950s version of the perfect family anymore. It's all different depending on what works for a relationship. And I just saw last night a movie called 500 Days of Summer. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it's a very interesting movie because it's a love story. It's a romantic, but it's a total role reversal where the man goes through the whole movie, really showing his soft feminine side, and the woman in the movie is the one that has the normal reactions that a man would have. So I think you bring up a very interesting point, but when you say that women are not liking it, that confuses me, because I think that most women who tend to have a relationship with a man who is in touch with his feminine side would be the kind of woman who is very in touch with her, her more male side, her stronger, more aggressive side. And sometimes those relationships work really well.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because what I hear from many, many women is that they're very frustrated with men who are like that. They really want a masculine, manly man, and that the whole idea, that they're really very, very frustrated because they want a man who can show some leadership. They want a man who can make decisions, because a man like that makes them feel like a woman.
Well, you're in Toronto, Elliot, so maybe it's just women
I don't think
Canada.
So. You know what?
It's very interesting.
My book has been translated into 15 languages around the world.
Wow.
It's a very common...
What's it called, Elliot?
Being the Strong Man a Woman Wants, Timeless Wisdom on Being a Man.
Great. Well, thank you for letting us know. Yes.
I think that if a woman is with a man like that, she's picked the wrong one. Because I don't think that if a man, if that's in his nature, you can negotiate a little bit within a relationship, but you can't really change your spots completely.
When somebody's frustrated
with a man like that and isn't liking it, she's picked the wrong one, and nothing he can do is ever going to make her happy.
Or she can't communicate her needs. People who are frustrated because they don't know how to ask for what they want, what they need, share their fears, their fantasies. So I think it's just all an excuse, as you said, because they picked the wrong partner. And they're blaming the other person. But it takes two to have a bad relationship.
And it takes two to take responsibility to have a good relationship.
Right. I agree. So thank you for calling, Elliot. And I love that people call in with their perspective, but we don't have to agree with everybody.
Right. But I think it's an interesting book. I'd be interested to read the book.
You would not. You're lying.
No. I would.
You're being polite.
No, I would, because I'm interested in dynamics of relationships,
You're so cute. You're like this little sponge.
Thank you. But I'm always interested in what makes a relationship tick.
I wouldn't be interested in reading the book at all.
For another.
Yeah, no, it's not for me. I'm into yin and yang. We both have male and female energy, and we need really good communication.
I agree. And what? Sometimes just because you say, just because you want something at one point in a relationships, particularly if they're long-term, they grow and change. That doesn't mean that, 5 years in, you're going to still want the same things.
You do grow. You grow sexually, emotionally. That's why you've got to keep it exciting.
Absolutely.
So one of the tips, that I think can help better sex is to let go in bed and not be inhibited and forget about work and kids and the recession and all of your problems and let sex be your natural high and your escape from the mundane.
Yes.
But I know that's easier said than done, isn't it, Jackie?
Well, it's kind of like fearlessness, yes. When you say letting go, I agree with you totally 100% on that one, Dr. Ava. And sometimes in any relationship, even a husband and wife that have been together for a long time, that know each other very well, we all get stuck in our ruts, and there's always, sometimes in a relationship like that, there's a certain guardedness, or there's a secretiveness, or there's a shyness about people really speaking up and saying what they want. Sometimes it's not even that they're not willing to say, it's that they honestly don't know because they've never really thought about it.
Right.
It's easy to sit back and say, oh, well, I like what's normal because it's easy to have what's normal and don't push the envelope. Don't rock the boat. It's okay the way it is. Sometimes you just got to take that leap, get on out there, try something different.
And that's why people do stray, and that's why some people do go to see hookers, which I much prefer than prostitutes. I love the word hooker. I think it's adorable because some people are less inhibited about sharing their fantasies with a stranger than with the person that they love and they've been with, for a decade or more because they're afraid of rejection or even ridicule.
Absolutely. And I think that happens even with people that have, relationships with different, like if a woman has had maybe two husbands or two or three boyfriends, the relationship will be different with each one, With one, it might be way more promiscuous and more interesting, exciting. With one, it may be way more conservative. I think we all have a tendency to kind of connect and get comfortable with the energy of the person we're with. And it's a good idea not to get too caught into that, allowing that person's energy to affect your own to the point where you get into the same groove. Because opposites attract.
Oh, yes. I agree with you. So now I know that you believe in this. You definitely believe in a romance journal, right?
I absolutely believe in a romance journal. I think it's one of the greatest ideas in the whole world.
So why don't you tell our listeners how you think a romance journal can lead to better sex?
Oh, okay. I think that's a great idea. Well, first of all, I have to tell you, a romance journal is the kind of thing that I have done all my life. I have done it on my own, and I've done it with other people. Romance journal is kind of like a diary, and what you do is best way to do it, and the most constructive way is to share it with your partner, and you write down what you maybe it's a fantasy that you would like, maybe it's something you would like to try that you've never done, maybe it's something that makes you feel good. Sometimes it's very sexual, sometimes it's not even direct to sex. Sometimes it might be, I would feel good if we sat in the hot tub or we took a bubble bath together and you would massage my feet,
Jackie, that sounds very exciting, but we're going to commercial right now. Welcome back to Sex Drive Radio. Everyone knows how to have sex, but lovemaking is truly an art that you can learn right here on Sex Drive Radio at WeTalkSex.com. And our celebrity guest is a very talented actress and a dancer. Her name is Cherie Johnson. She played as Punky Brewster's best friend on TV's Punky Brewster. And then she went on to Family Matters and the soap opera Days of Our Lives. Welcome to the show, Cherie.
Thank you. How are you?
I am great. Thank you. And so tell us, I know you're working on something really exciting right now. Is it a new movie?
Absolutely. A film that came out in stores and on the internet last Tuesday. Please go check it out. It's called I Do, I Did. I wrote it, I produced it, and I starred in it.
And what is I Do, I Did about?
It's actually a romantic dramedy. Can't I call it a comedy? I have to call it a dramedy because there's a lot of comedy in there, but it has a dramatic overtone. I fall in love with my high school sweetheart. We get married, leaving to go to our honeymoon. We get into a car accident, and our love is definitely tested.
Ooh. It's funny. It's not funny. I always say that you really don't know somebody until you go through adversity together.
Absolutely.
And I think that's when the true character comes out, right?
And that's exactly what happens. I am in a coma for 2 years.
Wow.
In the movie. So after that is really when our life together starts. And it's based off of a true story. So, I was in love with a man for 7 years. He had a baby with a groupie.
This is
my
for real.
feelings were hurt. I wrote a movie about it.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, and where is he now?
He's somewhere moping.
Good.
Somewhere moping.
No, that was mean. That was mean of me to say. But, sometimes it's people sometimes end relationships too soon. They don't they think that it's no work. They think that everything's supposed to happen just normally and naturally without any kind of communication or creativity.
It was a blessing in disguise for me, though, because if I wouldn't have gone through that, I wouldn't have a movie, and I wouldn't have the man that I have now. So I'm thankful.
Yay. So what do you think makes for a great intimate relationship, then? What are the ingredients?
I think lots of communication. You have to be physically attracted to each other. You have to know each other's hearts, and lots of hot sex.
Oh, absolutely. Now, look, you have an amazing talent for dancing, and you have these athletic skills. I can't believe everything that you do. I mean, from aerobics, boxing, rollerblading, cycling, football, golf. Does someone actually, feel intimidated by you because you are like the perfect physical specimen of a woman?
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I think I'm a tomboy. So I'm kind of a tomboy in my own right. So, yeah, some men are a little intimidated at the fact that I might sit down and watch a football game and know more about the teams than they do.
But you're also a very sexy woman. So you're not only a tomboy, because look at the dancing that you do, from ballet to ballroom to tango to salsa. That doesn't sound like a tomboy to me.
Thank you. Well, no, I think, the ballet is very sexy, and salsa and tango and the merengue, all that is very sexy and sexual.
It is. I mean, I think sex is like a dance, isn't it? It's like you respond to each other's movement.
Absolutely. And you can't always, be in the same movements with somebody. So when you find that chemistry, you got to hold on to it.
So how do you maintain chemistry? You're in a relationship right now, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and I have a question to ask you about that, too. It's kind of a sex question.
Oh, love that. Okay.
I'm 33 years old, and I had a wild weekend in Vegas this weekend, and I squirted for the first time.
Oh, my goodness. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I was really excited about it, and I've been kind of like in the daze all day because I want to do it again.
Wow. Well, Cherie's talking about female ejaculation, which is natural, normal. It just means that you were with the right person. You were completely uninhibited in bed. It also means that you have very strong love muscles. Yes, men really enjoy that. And you can control your orgasm because you have an awareness of it. And most women, they actually come and seek counseling to learn how to do that. So do you remember what you were doing exactly when that happened?
Yes,
I mean, it was obviously
I remember the position, but I don't remember, exactly.
So it was probably G-spot stimulation, I'm guessing, because most women actually do orgasm and ejaculate from the G-spot, which is inside the woman. And it's just an incredible erogenous zone that gives you a longer, deeper, more intensive orgasm.
It was the most amazing thing I've ever felt in my life, and I wet up the whole bed, though. That wasn't really cool.
Wow. Now, you see, some women squirt a little and some women squirt a lot. So you squirt a lot, so it's okay.
I could actually see it. I was amazed by it.
Now, what about your partner?
He was pretty amazed by it, too.
Was he freaked out, or was he happy? Was he, turned on?
He wasn't freaked out. He didn't stop.
You've got the right partner.
Could I do it again? And I said, I think so. I said, just keep doing what you're doing. And when he did it, I did it again.
Right answer. There you go. Now, that's what I call chemistry.
I want to do it again and again, though.
Well, you got to get in the same position. You got to get in the same juicy frame of mind. Whatever you did that night, whatever you were fantasizing about, whatever led up to the incredible sex that you had, is what you basically need to redo. You need an action replay of your hot sex scene. So just pretend you're the writer, producer, director, and star of your own squirting movie.
You know what? I just might have to get the video camera out because that is something that I honestly will watch over and over again.
I think you should. I think you should definitely videotape it and show it only to your closest confidants, with me being one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Cherie. You have been an amazing guest. Do you have a website that you want to give out so people can check out your movie, I Do, I Did?
You know what? I Did is all over my MySpace page. You can go to myspace.com/Cherie Johnson. You can look it up on YouTube, or you can always tweet me directly. My name is Cherie Johnson 75 on my Twitter.
Wonderful. And I'm going to be Twittering with you very soon. And once again, I wish you continued success, not only in your professional life, but in your personal life, too.
Thank you, Dr. Ava. And I might have to call you back next year. Hopefully something new and exciting will happen.
You can call me anytime. Anytime. Thank you, sweetie. You are listening to Sex Drive Radio. I'm Dr. Ava Cadell, and I want to thank my lovely co-host, Jackie Seaman. She is writing in her romance journal right now. She's going to be sharing that with us next time. I also want to thank our producer, Christy, our social media coordinator, Nikki, engineers Ron, Ray, and Shane, and a very special thanks to our sponsor, AdamandEve.com, the greatest place on earth for products to spice up your sex life. But don't forget, if you want to get 50% off, you have to type in the promo code SEXDRIVE, SEXDRIVE at the end of your purchase. And you can purchase just about anything that you can think of that turns you on. From sex toys for as little as $6.95 to adult movies starring Jenna Jameson and Tara Patrick, to lingerie. So you know what I'm going to recommend you do for better sex? I'm going to recommend that you sit in front of your computer with your lover and you go to adamandeve.com, because that's what I call foreplay. This is Dr. Ava Cadell, and I'm looking forward to being with you again on Sex Drive tomorrow night at the same time, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Same place, WeTalkSex.com. So until then, I want you to have better sex. I want you to let go in the bedroom, just like Cherie Johnson did. And look what happened to her. I want you to do some non-sexual touching, guys, because that's going to lead to better sex. I want you to look good, and I want you to take care of yourself. And then write in your romance journal and give us a call and share what you've written with us. But until then, go celebrate good, healthy love and sex with an S&L sandwich. And that's a generous helping of sex between two slices of love.